Most people think a fall just happens, but the truth is, your parent will almost always show you the warning signs first. Problem is, they're tiny. So tiny you won't notice them unless you know exactly what to look for. And missing them is the difference between getting ahead of a fall and getting a phone call you never want to get. Falls are the #1 reason for injury for older adults over the age of 65. And more than half of those falls happen right at home, the place that's supposed to be safe, right? The part most families don't realize is this: the very first fall is the one that changes everything. Once someone falls, their chance of falling again goes up, their confidence drops, and everyday life gets a lot harder for the whole family. And if you can spot the signs early, you can prevent the first fall. And that's the goal here, helping you stay one step ahead long before anything serious happens. In this video, I'll show you the early warning signs your parent is already at risk of falling, and the simple at-home tests you can use to check their strength, balance, and exact steps proven to prevent a first fall before it happens. Now let me ask you this: if you've ever walked outside and you're wearing glasses and it's a humid day and you were inside somewhere where they had cool AC, as soon as you walk outside, what happens? Your glasses start to fog up, right? You can still see colors and shapes, but all the important details start to disappear. That's the kind of thing that happens when you look at your aging parents every day. We see them, we talk to them, we help them, but small changes, the slower stand up, cautious turn, the shorter steps, those details get blurry. Our eyes adjust without realizing it, but the moment you defog the lens and look at their movements on purpose, things become a lot clearer. You start noticing the tiny shifts in their balance that tells you a fall isn't random, it's predictable. Okay, so before we get into the early warning signs, there's one thing that really helps all of this make sense. Falls almost never come from one big cause. They usually come from a whole bunch of things stacked on top of each other over time that line up at the wrong moment. And when you understand the stack, you start seeing fall risk differently. Not as one dramatic event, but as a series of little cues the body and the home have been giving you for a while. A lot of that stack starts with the physical changes that happen slowly over time. Strength in the thighs and hips fades a little, and suddenly getting up from a chair without using arms becomes harder. Ankles get stiffer, and the tiny loss of a flexibility makes clearing even the smallest threshold difficult. Sometimes you might notice your parents are reaching for walls or furniture or hovering over counters, almost like they're being careful. But really, that's the balance starting to slip, or even a side effect from medications they've been on for years. And also vision, it starts to shift also. Edges, steps, shadows, and those little things are harder for the brain to judge. Then you add in something as simple as dehydration, which can trigger a whole cascade. I had a client one time who normally is steady and safe, but she got dehydrated, which led to an UTI. The UTI caused a sudden urgency. She rushed, didn't clear a small threshold between the hallway and the bathroom, and down she went. The threshold wasn't the problem though. It was the chain of events that started at the beginning. The dehydration, the UTI, the urgency, rushing, stiff ankles ultimately led to the fall. And that's how it usually unfolds. Not one giant error, but 5 tiny ones. And sometimes the risk doesn't come from the body, it comes from the habits. Now this is where families get surprised, because these are the things that your parents have been doing forever. They stop using their cane because they say, no need, I don't need it, even though they're holding on to the wall, right? If they have a small dog, they might lean down to pick up the dog when their balance is getting worse. Or like what every grandparent should do, play with their grandchildren, and sometimes go a little bit overboard, which might ultimately lead them to a fall. I've even had kupuna, or elderly, climb up a small tree just to get that last fruit before the bird does. It all feels harmless because, to be honest, it used to be harmless, but the body today isn't the body from 10 years ago. Footwear plays into this also. Old slippers, smooth socks. How about that extra high platform that they used to wear that they shouldn't be wearing anymore? A tiny misstep on tile or wood is all it takes. Then there's the home itself. The environment that used to fit them perfectly, a house that was safe for decades, slowly turns into an obstacle course without anyone noticing. Always fill up with keepsakes that they've had forever, throw rugs that have never been a problem before suddenly catches a toe. And what about lighting? It used to be fine, but now becomes an issue because at nighttime, the shadows hide the edges or thresholds. And of course, we can't forget about bathrooms. They have wet tile, no real grabbing point, like a grab bar, or if they do have a grab bar, they're using a towel rack with a towel over it that they've done for years, and they lean on it because it feels sturdy to them. Individually, none of these things look dangerous, but when you put them all together, the body changing, the habits adjusting, the home staying the same, you get what I call a multi-factor fall stack. And once you start seeing it, you can't unsee it. And that brings us to the part that really helps you get ahead of all this. Okay, now that you can see how all those tiny little factors can stack together, the next step is figuring out where your parent actually is today. Not guessing, not hoping, but really checking. And before we jump into the tests, just know you don't need to memorize anything I'm about to show you. I put together a simple fall risk assessment worksheet recommended by the CDC that walks you through everything I'm about to talk to you about step by step. How to set it up, what to look for, and how to track changes over time. You can download it using the link in the description and follow along as you go. Now let's start with the sit to stand test because it tells you the most. Have your parents sit in a firm chair and sit up as many times as they can in 30 seconds without using their arms. They need to cross their arms over their chest. If they reach for the armrest, that's already telling you something. If their number is on the lower end of their age, that's another clue. And if they can't stand up without help, that's your sign that they need a PT or OT evaluation. Leg strength, especially in the thighs, is one of the strongest predictors of fall risk. Okay, next is walking speed. Pick a straight pathway where you have 10 feet of space and have them walk it at a comfortable pace while you time it. Now that number matters, but the way they walk matters more. Are they shuffling? Are they cautious? Off balance? Because walking speed is often called the sixth vital sign because it tells you so much about what's going on with their overall health. And finally, try the balance test. Have them stand with their feet together and then one foot slightly in front and then one heel to toe. Holding the heel to toe stance for 10 seconds is the real benchmark. If they can't, their fall risk rises significantly. Now these things show you that you may never really notice during normal life because your parent is usually pacing themselves or holding something. The tests remove those little compensations and reveal the truth. And once you know where they stand, you can make targeted changes that truly help. Okay, now once you identify where the risks are, the next question is always, so what do we do? And thankfully, fall prevention isn't complicated. A few focused steps make the biggest impact. Now, medications are one of the easiest places to start. A surprising amount of dizziness and blood pressure drops come from side effects. Now, all you need to do is a quick medication review with your doctor or pharmacist, and they can reveal the hidden issues. Also, vision and hearing checks matter more than people realize. If your parent can't clearly see edges or the transitions, or if their hearing is affecting balance, those are easy wins to fix. Then there's the home, right? Now, I like to say a grab bar is the gateway drug to home modifications. A real grab bar in the right spot, not a suction cup grab bar, it can go a long way to help prevent a fall. Sensor night lights from the bedroom to the bathroom, as well as removing loose rugs and adding a non-slip mat in the shower, as well as fixing a floor transition and adding a second handrail. None of this takes long, that's the thing. But each of these simple fixes removes a hazard from their day. And what about movement? People think strength and balance can't be rebuilt, but that's not the case. Tai Chi, as well as the Otago program, both of these have been tested and are evidence-based programs that shows that seniors can regain strength and balance and flexibility. Even as simple daily routines as sit-to-stands and heel raises all help the body respond better when something unexpected happens. Some elderly may benefit from vitamin D, so this depends on what your doctor might say, so make sure to check with them for guidance. And it's always worth checking how they feel when they stand up. Some people have sharp blood pressure drops that make them dizzy, so you want to make sure you establish a baseline in the morning before they get up out of bed. Okay, by now you've seen the warning signs. Check the baseline and you know what changes actually work. And if you want a little extra help getting started, I put together a simple fall risk assessment worksheet where you can download using the link in the description. It walks you through the exact tests we covered, how to set them up, what numbers you're aiming for, and how to track the results over time so you can catch the small changes early. And once you've got that baseline, if you want to take the next step and make your parents' home truly safer, I got another video that walks you through the highest impact home modifications and how to choose the right ones for your family. Just click right here and I'll show you how to turn their home into a space that supports them instead of one they have to work around.